do it.
Oh, I'm down.
Yeah, we all did.
Oh, I didn't know y'all were down. If I knew y'all were down, I would have
I didn't know until I came back from setting this
done
up.
something differently. Okay.
I mean, it's going pretty decent, to be honest.
Yeah. All
I'm at
right.
1.2 of 1. Oh.
I don't either. So, this is episode 11? Yeah,
What is
episode
it?
11 of Gamerside Chat. Technically, it's been a little bit more, but we've had some resets and some other ones we're trying to do, but this is official number 11.
Y'all know it's 2020. A bunch of weird stuff been going on.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've been here, but we got on because we got on, you know, trying to get 4 black people together at the same time. You know how that goes. But we here. So,
Or busy.
we were quite busy, you know. Man, we're trying to survive in these COVID streets, man.
Has nothing to do with being black.
It has everything to do with being black. It always does.
I'm a white
heard?
male anyway.
Wow.
I'm a white woman anyway. So.
You're a white woman. You're a white woman of color.
Don't
I
tell
want
them.
no problems. No problems. I'm a white female.
Yeah, you have myself, Lex, host number 1. You have host B, Wade.
What up?
You have host 3, Ed.
What up?
And the 4th host, none the lesser, Mark. How you doing, Mark?
The most
Yo, what
important.
up? What up?
Yes,
I mean,
the most important because he makes the tacos. You know what I'm saying?
that's true. I do play with these tacos.
Makes the tacos.
I do not eat them.
Which is weird. I would eat
all.
I couldn't work in a taco shop because I would eat all the tacos.
Yeah, I would.
They are delicious tacos. Not gonna lie.
You would make any profit
Yeah.
probably.
I will eat the shrimp taco.
Lex, stop eating the product. I can't help it. The taco. Shut up.
Look, man, we gotta sell this shit. I gotta conform.
Yeah, it's been what?
Absolutely.
Has it been a month since we last recorded? I think it's been some
I
weeks.
feel like it.
Yes, it's been a month.
So since then, I've had a birthday. I'm an older man. I'm still alive. I'm still here. Still standing. You know what I mean? You know, the wife and I got away for a little bit, decompress. You know.
Old as hell.
And
I'll tell you that.
bro, I feel extra
Wait a
old,
minute.
man. These knees are crunching. You know what I'm saying? Nestle Crunch. I can't even stoop down to pick nothing up without my knees start sinking. Like
All
so
them
no
years
more.
You
of
should
horn,
play sports.
All them years of horn, boy.
Look,
catching
man.
up to her.
Look, hoeing takes a toll on you, man. You know what I'm saying?
All them years of horn, catching up to you. Boy.
Even though I'm
This is
retired.
why. Hey, man.
Look, man, even though I'm retired, you know what I'm saying? It's like an athlete. You know, your body still, you know, got to recover. You know, it's been too late. But yeah, no, we had a little, all this water. But no, I had a good time and stuff. But in bigger news, Ed, you're a homeowner, baby. Come on, man. Big ups to Ed. You know.
Red. What?
Ed was like, you know what? I'm gonna go out here and buy this house. You know, I'm gonna take all credit because I helped him choose it. You know what I'm saying? I helped him in the process. I take all the credit where I can get it. But now he picked a pretty good house. You know, him chilling. So he has the perfect place to bring his hose back to. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, you can bring him back to an apartment, but a house, baby. I mean, a house is something else. Not
That's
the same.
that's gonna solidify some
You be
things,
like,
man.
I own this, and look at this yard. Yeah, you gotta furnish them extra rooms. I like your little office setup though. That office is nice. That's nice.
Already?
Yeah, put them 3 pictures of the wife showed you.
I hear you. Man, get that Samsung wall, man. That's what
Yo,
I
that
want.
Samsung wall. Me
I can't afford it either. I wanted to live vicariously through you. Your
Wait,
favorite
what?
movie.
Wait, what? There's a set. What? There's a
It's a
Samsung wall?
professional. Yeah, it's a commercial set called the Wall. It's like this modular TV from Samsung. I think like the smallest size is like 80 something inches, but you can get like a 120-inch panel or whatever. You know, put together.
I think it's like 285 or something.
Yeah, it's massive. Like, but it's modular, so you don't have to make a straight rectangle. You can have like something that looks like a Lego piece if you want it. You know, it's from a commercial application, so it's wildly expensive. I think they said each individual panel costs like $10,000 or something wild like that.
No,
You
I think
know,
the whole thing was well, I don't know.
this because the thing is, you
Well,
have to
how big
like
are the panels?
write. The panels I think are like I don't know, they're like 20 or 30 something inches because they're designed to be put together and they're micro LED, which is the newest display technology. You know, that micro LED is expensive because it's new. So, but now that joint is expensive. I want to say resellers or dealers are like 8 to 10 a panel. Because the thing is, they can
Man,
operate
and
independently, I believe.
imagine how much power those joints are going to draw too.
Dude, if I could afford that, I would have a separate generator just for it. You know what I mean? Like I would have a solar battery, it's like a solar panels and batteries just to power the TV. Because I don't want to pay Duke Power the hundreds of dollars a month just on that television alone.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
shoot,
I
you
feel like
imagine
that's
like a PlayStation, just a PlayStation by itself. PlayStation 4 when it's running it's like a refrigerator. I can't imagine what a damn 100 something inch TV multi-panel display would be like.
yeah.
But you know what? It'll probably look amazing though.
Rich people problems. Rich people
Exactly.
problems. I want some of them rich people problems.
Right. I got 21 hyena
Man,
keys. Come get this loot. Oh, they give me trash. Yeah. Now, if I hit the
song makes
lottery,
me
well,
smile every time.
which require playing. If I win the lottery, I'll buy all y'all a Samsung wall. I ain't paying your electric bill. I'll buy all y'all a wall. You know what I'm saying?
I just like the fact that it's documented.
No, just
One
no. It is documented.
one panel each.
I would just
Okay,
this
all right. I do not appreciate what you just did.
You get a panel. You get a panel. So we all come together like Voltron and make. Yeah, it's supposed to be $8,000 to $10,000.
yeah, I take the money too. I take the
Yeah,
money
I
too.
as well.
That's straight. That's going straight to my mortgage. Yeah.
I'm gonna. Do I have to pay taxes on this money? Is this tax-free money? What is this?
Look, if I give you a duffel bag
Yeah.
full of money,
The
ain't no
taxes
paying
that's
taxes.
coming out of his lottery winnings. We getting our straight 10,000
That's
clear and free.
flat.
That's all I'm saying.
Unless,
All right, that's what I'm
unless,
saying. It's well.
here's the thing, and I do not advocate tax fraud anyway. But if I give you money or like give you a check or something or give it to your account, anything more than what $4,999 has to be reported to the IRS, and they will consider that a gift from me because you didn't earn it, and they're going to hit you with the gift tax.
And then
So,
I gotta claim it as income.
No, you can't
Okay.
claim it as an income because I think your tax rate
It's
will
a
be
gift.
lower. You would claim it as a gift, which is a higher tax rate. It'll be basically what they tax me for lottery, they're going to tax you for lottery again. So they're going to double dip, which is bullshit.
Oh no, this is
But
not
like,
fair. Okay, so I'm duffel bagging. Yes,
yeah.
just give me. I can make that work.
The thing is, like, say if I gave like my mom $1 million and I've already been taxed because she's immediate family, they're not going to tax it. You know, immediate family won't get taxed. Yeah, look.
Yeah.
Look, if
Just say
I
we
saw,
cousins.
it would be duffel bag, man. Yeah, duffel bag.
Yeah, I'll take that duffel bag.
Duffel
Yeah,
bag.
yeah, I'll
boy.
make. Yeah. I'll figure that shit. Sure, I'll figure that shit out.
What the thing? Now just slowly put it in your.
Better get Solid Bear haircut of that.
Or
I feel like I would just live with a duffel bag of money in the room and just realize I don't have to ever spend money ever again.
yeah,
Just use it.
which you would just have to use it because you wouldn't have to worry about laundering because it's not illegal gains.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
you know,
Gas.
don't
you know.
ever worry about having to pay for anything ever. Just like, all right, I'm gonna grab a stack for the day. Be back. You know, actually be a charitable person. If you see something, you're like, hey, do you need $100? Here you go. Enjoy your day. You know. Wait, what? I don't see how that happened. But actually,
I ain't played this so long. I feel
the
like
first
I'm
thing I was
trash
thinking to
right now.
myself was I would need to set myself up as a 501c so I can receive a charitable
Charitable donation.
yeah, charitable donation. That is what I thought you were going to say, because that is where I was. I figured out my workaround. I mean,
They'll look to see what you're doing with that, yeah. You be
well,
like, I'm
taking
black in
care.
America. It's a charity, baby.
Yeah, that's it. What am I doing? I'm advocating for gay rights by not causing problems.
Fight Club.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Gay Fight Club.
You know what's funny? Like, I wonder how many.
Did you say a gay fight club?
Yeah, because we need one.
Would that be a hate crime? Would that count as a hate crime? Because that doesn't sound like
absolutely not.
They're
Absolutely
willing.
not.
Nah, if you're willing,
if they
to
are
sign
willing
up
participants.
Yeah, you're willing to.
The only thing is, we have to be careful about spectating, because they're like, you're watching gay people pummel each other. But
well, sorry guys. See ya.
Just make it a fight club.
It's
look,
absolutely not.
No, Mark do what he wants to do.
You're damn right it's my idea, and I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna tell you the same way this dude. I remember one time. I remember this dude. We were playing rugby here in Charleston, and it was with the Outlaws. There are two rugby teams in Charleston. There's the Charleston Blockade, which is the team that I'm on, which is technically the gay rugby team, but it is. I mean, I like it.
I mean, your coastal
shout
city,
out to Frankie Brown,
Blockade,
our creator. Yeah, truly. So yeah, and there was the Outlaws, which is the other team in Charleston, and so which is technically known as the straight team, and so we were whoring on for their team, which is just this is literally the terminology for playing with another team,
yeah,
and like being subs for them. Whoring, that's just it's whoring.
Okay. Okay.
Sure.
So this is like an exhibition match.
Yeah, or like we're just subs. Like, so if they need a person to come out, we'll go out and play or whatever. And this guy was talking to me, and he was saying, I don't know why there has to be two rugby teams in Charleston. Why don't we all just have one team? And I looked at him and it's like, there's a reason why there's a gay team now, and the fact that you don't understand that there's a reason why there's a gay team now is why there needs to be a gay team now. Like you don't understand the type of environment that you have or that you are in, that there are players that have left your team that have come to play with us, and you're trying to figure out why, and it's because your team culture, and it's toxic, and it's been there for so long, but people are getting tired of it, and so now you'll come. On our team, we do have a lot of straight guys on our team. At one time, we had more straight guys on the team than we did gay guys, and I was like, ew. What is happening? This is you talk about this. This needs to be addressed. yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The funny thing is, it sounds.
No.
Come on, President, get your ass. No. What are you doing? You tripping?
What? What other guy? So then, I mean. Unfortunately, that's the thing. You already have gay people on your straight team. They're just, I mean, statistically speaking, it's just not. That's just not what it is.
You want to be one way.
So you just now you don't even realize how the culture that you have amongst your team has stifled that person into not saying anything about themselves, because they know, even in professional sports, they just. I mean, there's no fucking way in professional sports. So it's just.
Nowhere. Michael Sam? Nowhere.
There you go. Yeah, and that man had the whole world going for him.
And there was a basketball player. I can't think of his name though.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Not because they want to, because they don't want to lose money.
Right.
I do think it was ironically funny that old boy who didn't want to take a knee got his knee taken from him. I thought that was.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna celebrate someone getting
Ever
injured,
put
but I
that
was like,
meme up?
Man, I
man,
hate to
of
laugh
all
at
the
that. I
things that
do not
happened,
want to laugh at that, but
yeah, I'm not gonna laugh at
Ever
them, but
put that meme up in the
it's
chat?
crazy how that happened. It's like, dude, you wouldn't take a knee, so they took your knee. Like that is,
Oh,
I
And
hate
then
it
the
for them, but
memes,
that's
oh
just
my
like,
god, the memes were funny. The incident wasn't funny. The memes are hilarious though, man. I hate to
yeah.
say it. I hate it happening, but
yeah,
that's crazy.
no, but yeah, it's funny how that
That was insane.
it's funny how they're talking about why there's two teams in Charleston. It's like the argument of why are there like when people are like why are there black colleges? Why you just go to college? Like
Because you don't
you know
understand the
there are black
history of
colleges
the
because
discrimination.
like you
Yeah,
realize
you
there's
understand the
black
history
colleges
of the
of
discrimination of black people from colleges, from
exactly
white colleges. So they had to make their own schools to educate
Yep.
their people because you wouldn't let us into
You
your
wouldn't
schools.
accept us.
right. These were
Exactly.
Yeah.
inventions of
So we
necessity.
had to
So
make our own. Yeah. And now you're mad because you're like, I don't know why you're mad, to be honest. I don't understand why you're mad. I have
right.
zero. Why are you mad?
No, you know
Man.
why people like that get mad is because when people are part of the majority, they're not used to being excluded from stuff, even though they're excluded from something because they weren't necessarily they excluded others, so the rest of us had to make our own. Which even though technically they're not excluded because HBCU doesn't tell you
Because
you
they
can't.
still, yeah,
You
still
can
accept
still go to
white
HBCU
people.
if you're
Here's
white. You know,
here's my uneducated question: is it truly all like black and all white at some of these HBCs? Like just straight up all black, all white? I mean, like all
No,
black
I don't. I
what do
all
don't
you
think
mean?
together? I
No,
mean, I'm sorry,
they're
that question was
100%
asked
black.
incorrectly.
No,
it's a weird
Is
question.
it
Yeah,
at
what do you mean?
HBCs? Is it all like? Do you have an all black population
Oh,
because
very
they won't
rarely.
allow?
Oh, absolutely not. No HBCU discriminates from non-black people from going there. And because
no.
Not that it discriminates, but does it really dissuade the fact that it's an HBC? Does it really dissuade people of non-color from going there altogether? Does it? Is it really just the
I would
idea
say
of it?
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, they're doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not. The black people
Yeah.
aren't doing that. That's the school's not saying probably shouldn't come here. The school's like, no, you can come here if you want. We're a great school. We'll take your
I mean,
money.
I feel
You know
like
what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're just stating their history. Historic black school because it was started because
and
black
I mean, I
people couldn't go
feel,
to white school. I know
yeah,
exactly.
Right.
So, but I'm saying like historically black just means that it was started for that reason.
because I feel
Right.
like in a
It's not
practical
saying
sense,
blacks only.
yeah, I
The
feel like in a
funny thing
practical
is,
sense, if you're trying to apply for school and you take where you want to go seriously based on what school has the best program, and you find that this HBC has the best program for what you're able to get into, but
the
you are a
HBCU's gonna be like, hey,
person of
come here.
non-color.
Just say white.
Do you apply? Yeah. Well, I
White's
mean,
okay.
well, not
White, black,
necessarily
okay.
because it may be someone who's Latino or maybe someone who is
Well, they're still a person of color.
let's say but
Or just
it's
say
an
non-black,
HBC.
who's not black.
Yeah,
Say
who's pretty
someone who's
much
not
not
black.
black.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, pretty much anyone who is not black. Yeah, that's more accurate.
gotcha.
Anyone who is just not black. I mean, do they? I mean, does that person feel like they can't apply to that school, even though, in a practical, logical sense, that school is the best choice for them?
Well, I would think that. So, if it may be a different thing between white people and non-black people of color. In that if you have, say, a person of Latino descent but is not Afro-Latino, they may not identify with everything in that way, or may not look at HBCU first, as somewhere that they would want to go. But and then for a white person, they're probably looking at the fact that historically they didn't have to just look at HBCUs because they were excluded, and they don't have a lot of times their parents are probably telling them to go to a particular place either because of legacy or because of opportunity. Saying, "Oh, this school's great for this, school's great for that." Um, they may get some people in their family who say, "Why would you go to an HBCU and you're not black?" Because granted, you don't have to. There was a point in time, because that we all know that black people had to go HBCU because a primarily white institution would not accept them. But they've always, as far as I know, would accept non-white people because they're about education first. Even though they were formed to, take care of education for black people. The thing is, I think that in a societal way, there's probably some discouraging, views that they may see from their peers, like, why would you go to school, whatever. But maybe something that's not more or less just in a like, you don't have to go to here, so why would you go here, type thing. But I don't feel like that's coming from black people. Don't get
Yeah,
me wrong. There are probably some black people who are like, "This is ours. Why are you trying to come and get a piece of this too?" But if you really think about it, for the most part, the black community in general, we're not a monolith, of course, but in general, the black community is pretty much inclusive in a lot of ways because we hate being excluded because we know what being excluded is like. So we're like, we're not going to exclude other people. If
yeah,
you're going to fuck with us and you're on
Facts.
our side, then come on. You know what I mean? So, but
yeah. I
it's
mean, because
funny
I
if
feel
you
like if a
look at.
person,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead, no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say because the funny thing is if you look at HBCUs, go to their um, athletics department. That's where you'll find a lot of the white applicants and students because, for example, A&T, North Carolina A&T, or Western Salem State University, two HBCUs near me. Both of those schools have a lot of white players on their baseball team, because they're good teams and they're welcoming anybody of any color to come. And historically, baseball doesn't have a ton of black people playing it. There's more
Yeah,
now than there used to be, but it's typically more white players and Latino players. So a lot of them go to HBCUs because there's more roster spots because a lot of the black athletes who the best athletes have been courted by PWIs like Alabama or UCLA or bigger schools to get their talent. The other guys who either weren't pulled by those schools or decide to go to HBCU are probably playing football, basketball, track and field, or something like that, but not golf or baseball or soccer if the schools have it. So that's the funny thing is you'll find a lot of the non-black students at HBCUs on those particular sports teams. Yeah, they go there, but it's usually more so of like if they go there, like A&T is probably one of the best engineering schools in the state of North Carolina, and they're like it's affordable. If you're from North
mm,
Carolina, it's very affordable, and it's a good school to go to. People would go there for engineering and other agriculture, all kinds of stuff.
mm,
So a lot of students, non-black students, were like, "Well, shit, it's a great, still an opportunity because it's still one of the best schools to go to in this region."
Right.
Um,
yeah,
Yeah.
and then I do kind of feel like sometimes on the flip side, some black people are discouraged from going to HBCUs because we get told you're used to being around your own people, you need to go get get some diversity and stuff, so that or there's still the stigma that the best schools are primarily white institutions, which in a lot of ways is true because they've had a leg up.
Yeah.
Typically better
Years and years
funding,
and years.
years of existing before HBCUs, prestige, like the whole Ivy League and all that kind of stuff. Uh, yes, the 10-year-old who's in the house right now, it'd be great if he decided later on if he wanted to go to Harvard or something like that. But if he decided, one, he doesn't have to go to college if he don't want to. But if he wants to, he's like, I want to go to Harvard, and he's accepted. Fantastic, that's amazing. Harvard's a fantastic school. But he can also be like, I want to go to Hampton. I want to go to Howard. I want to go to A&T. Also great, you know. Um, he'll be able to do that. But yeah, there's always prestige applied to like the biggest of your schools name. They just happen to be PWS. Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
Yeah. A Oreo. Yeah. Yeah, you don't fit in their box.
Fuck that dude. Yeah, it's like it's like the dude you knew from Tibet. He got one version because of media of what black people are. And I hate to say it, but this sucks. We do it to ourselves as a group as well. You know, where it's like, you sound educated. Why you talking white? Or you like rock music? That's some white shit. And we still do it. And I'm not gonna lie, we do that shit jokingly sometimes. But other times, some people are serious and like, oh, you're doing this or doing that. Oh, that's a white people shit. You know, where it's like, black people are incredibly diverse. You know, black Americans.
Hmm.
You know, in the U.S., black Americans, black South Americans, black Caribbean people, basically everybody part of the diaspora is all, like we're a huge, diverse group of people. It's just that
Right.
we're not allowed to be portrayed as such. You know, like you have to be like, if you think about media, we're either one of two things. We're either, the thug or we're the upstanding magical Negro. Who comes in to to help a white person stop being racist or save the day or something like that. There's only like two archetypes you can be in the media, unless it's our stuff. And in our stuff, you have the different types of people. Like you said, you went to school, and come across people of all different types, and we know even within our small circle, we have all different
Yeah.
types of tastes and things we like and proclivities and stuff like that too. But
Yeah.
you don't get a lot of that media wise because it's like, no, we just want y'all to be seen this way, so that's what we're going to do. You know what I mean?
All
Yeah,
right.
didn't your boy Joe Biden just say something like the Latino group is incredibly diverse, unlike the African American,
Bruh, he
unlike the
put
African.
unlike
Yeah,
that
Well,
dude a level of like foot and mouth, like that was.
man, yo, all Biden got to
It's
do
like
is
please be
shut the
quiet.
fuck up, man. Biden, just shut up, please.
Yeah,
Shut up, bro. You
don't fuck
got it,
this up for
man. Just shut
yourself.
up.
yeah.
Don't.
Don't fuck it
Yeah,
up for
just shut up. Don't even debate. I don't even want them to debate, man. Just shut up.
uh, Now, I will
Just
say,
shut up, man.
in interest, I did find the demographics for the student body fall numbers of 2018 for A&T, and these are the demographic numbers. Yeah, so
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
African American 79 or 77.93 or 91. Sorry, so
Hmm.
78%. Uh, Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islanders 1.16%.
Hmm.
Uh, Hispanic, Latino American, 4%. International student is 3%. Multiracial, 4%.
What's
Native American,
international? They just.
I guess
No,
anyone not
actual,
from
yeah,
America.
non-American students. Yeah,
Yeah, just
Okay.
non-American
No,
students,
no.
yeah.
wherever that
Okay,
may
got
be from.
Like it could be a
Native
black, it could be an
American.
African person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could. It
Yeah,
could.
so,
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to have the African American experience in America. They want to,
Shit, I'm down.
they see it and they love it. Native American, Alaska Native, less than 1%.
Yeah.
White American, how much do you think white American is?
Probably I was gonna say 3%.
8%.
8%. Okay, that is very generous. It is 6.65%.
Yeah,
6.5.
yeah, I do that.
6.6.
And
God,
then
dog, that's
ethnicity
not.
unknown / other, 2.86. I don't know what that
Really?
is.
That's a margin of
That's the
Ethnicity
error.
people. That's the
unknown
It's a
people
/
margin of error
who
other.
too.
put other. That's the people who circle other on their.
Or they didn't put anything.
Oh
Like
yeah, they ain't playing
a lot of people won't put anything right there.
far
Well,
right.
I'm
Far
down.
who?
I'm copying
Downtown
update
East, yeah,
file.
District Union
So
area. Yeah, District
I
Union
don't know
area.
why this shit takes so long to install. It's very upsetting.
Yeah. No, it's always an interesting
See
dynamic,
it's
but it,
not yet.
yeah, yeah. But those are good questions. I don't know. I've been getting weird glitches in the game. Like I'm still getting like pop-ups on the screen for stuff I've already checked or whatever. So yeah, like we were saying, the whole black people not mob thing falls a lot in that. But yeah, with Biden, like, dude, like you said, just please be quiet. Like, stop
Yeah,
saying stuff.
Biden
No,
just
Leading.
I
shut
honestly
up, man.
wonder.
Just
It's
shut
like
up.
is he suffering from dementia? Like, because a lot of stuff he's
No,
saying.
I feel like he's out of touch, man. He's just
No,
out
no,
of
no,
touch.
dude. There are times he'll just be rambling. Like there are clips of him just
He
rambling.
does
It's like,
ramble. He does, yeah. He does. I have seen those videos. That's true.
I'm just like, oof. And the thing is, because like when he was talking about Latino community diversity, he didn't even have to mention. Like the point was made. He didn't even have to say anything about black people at all. It's like, why would you even say
He just brought black
anything?
people into it.
Yeah, we just sitting out drinking our water, mind our business. He's like, unlike black Americans, like, what? We even say nothing.
Very diverse, unlike the African American. What you do? For what? Why? Yeah, why? Why would you even say it though?
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah, I can't make any sense of it. Like, I don't know. I don't know. 'Cause the thing is, I looked at the explanation of it. I also like, I don't. That's why I wonder. You know, like he was, I guess, saying in a way that the Latino community comes from a diverse set of countries, but and not trying to say we're not diverse, but it's still inaccurate because the diaspora, not all Black Americans are from the United States. A lot are just like are immigrants from the Caribbean, are first generation or second generation immigrants from African countries, you know, or blended families where like my dad is technically a first generation immigrant, well half because his father's American, but my grandmother was from Panama. She was not American. But it's such a weird thing. It's like I hate when people try to big up one group by mentioning
Putting
or
out
comparing against another.
old
Yeah.
man.
There's no reason for that, dude. You didn't even have to mention black folk at all. You just said, you know, the Latino community comes with very diverse backgrounds, different countries, different cultures, different sensibilities and stuff. We understand not all y'all the same. Bam, that's your point. But then he says, unlike black people, like, what the hell, Joe? We ain't even do nothing.
Yeah, why are you trying to? Why are you trying to?
We're
put
not
other
even
group
listening.
down?
We're not even here. Like, come on.
Yeah, like we weren't even in the room. And all of a sudden we heard our name. We're like, all right, what?
Like, you sound worse than Trump when he calls us the blacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, the blacks love me. I love
The blacks love me. They vote for me.
the blacks will vote for me. I've done. No one's done more for the blacks.
For the blacks.
I'm so excited for him. I mean, I just can't wait.
You just can't wait, huh?
This
Just
whole
can't wait.
this whole
I
election
can't
cycle
wait.
is going to be a shit show, though. Like everything from the
Yeah.
fact that the postal service is fucked up in a way that they can't even get votes out.
Hmm.
Like that like therefore they can't even get mail out, so we're worried about mail-in voting, which you know it's almost like it's a ridiculous level of transparency that I think they don't intend. Where it's like you have a Republican president, Republican on paper president, who is, he put in place the attorney, the general postmaster general now. Him and his wife apparently have millions of dollars in stake in companies that are actual competitors to USPS. So him being a postmaster general is really a conflict of interest. So he has this person in place. This guy's apparently making cuts and stuff. They're not getting overtime, and they're already suffering service delays. More often than not, the Republican Party is responsible for voter suppression in different communities, especially in black communities in different states. Like it's almost like a bad plot to a movie that everyone can figure out. It's like, and Trump is against talking about voter fraud through shit. I know I'm about to get blowed up. Voter fraud through the mail, shit, and then he's basically fucking with the mail. Like, come on, man.
Right. Exactly.
Like, how much more transparent can it get? Like, this is like a story written by kids. Like you gotta figure that stuff out. Like, I just never. But
Telenovelas.
his supporters won't care. They're gonna be fine with whatever.
Exactly. I don't understand how you can ignore facts, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. You got, what was it, like, right.
Right.
Right. It's like I don't think it's just black people. Like I feel like there's groups like, do you hate black and brown people, like, you know, minorities? Do you hate poor people so much that you rally against this kind of thing, not understanding that you're actually part of that poor class? Right. You might be working,
Exactly.
but honestly, I feel like that's one of the reasons why we just can't get past COVID, because this whole, you know, brothers keeper, home of the brave, you know, America's taking America's thing is bullshit. Because we've all been pushed, you know, to be a individualistic society. It's like, oh yeah, help your fellow man, but pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. You know, give your brother a hand up, but don't give him too much, because it's gonna be a welfare state, and they're gonna expect everything all the time. Like it's a contradiction. The values they present for, you know, Americans is a huge contradiction. Like none of that shit's true. Like, dude, why is it so hard to get people just to put on them as because you told them it might help other people? Like, that's the crazy thing. They're saying the biggest thing is, yeah, these are my rights. My rights to not wear a mask. And when I go into the Walmart, you know, like, come on, man. Like, I don't like wearing masks. I'm terrified of wearing masks because I'm a guy who carries a gun, and I'm black. I'm terrified of having something cover my face and someone think I'm there to cause problems or to rob the place. You know, that's a real fear. You know, and I had to, you know, we got rogue agents. Kind of had to do due diligence in a way, because you know, here in North Carolina, I had to make sure it's illegal on with the regular statute to wear a mask when you're carrying.
Mask and have when you're carrying. Yep.
Thankfully,
so that gets people fucked up too.
Yeah, but thankfully they put in a statute. You know.
Oh fuck! I'm getting fucking. There's a dude shooting me.
Yeah, they have put in a statute to for the time being. Shit, I'm down to prevent that.
Yeah, they do.
He dead though. This one's dead. But yeah, so luckily, you know, until I think sometime this month, there's something in place for it. But it's just like, if I'm willing to go out here and put on this uncomfortable mask for hours at a time, which doctors and surgeons have been doing forever.
For years,
For years. You know, decades, hell, centuries. If they can do it, and I can do it, you know, knowing what could happen if I encounter police and shit goes wrong, then you, random white person who probably has no record and nothing to actually worry about, can do it too.
Some people won't try it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, missing the point altogether.
Right. Exactly.
Shit. I'm down again. Yep. And then Anthony Fauci are getting death threats. His whole family's getting like death threats and stuff.
He's about.
Yeah, can you get me real quick?
Yo, this one rogue agent is
right
like
beside
fucking me up.
Across where you, yeah, I don't understand how you can send this man death threats and threaten to kill him just because he's trying to tell you the safest way to save the populace from a disease. Like,
dude, it's terrifying. Like, and I hate how a lot of people's first instinct is to threaten someone's life because they don't agree with what they say. And again, I swear this comes from not being able to tell people that they're stupid and what they said was stupid. You know, there's no, like, people are in a position where they believe that their opinion is as valid as someone else's fact, when that's literally not the case. Like, not even close. All right, we almost got him. Yo, why is this dude so hard? He must be the leader or something. I gotta find the article. I think I had to say, but it's like, no, your opinion is not, no, this is not a agree to disagree. Your opinion is not valid here. Oh no, the article is like, no, you are not entitled to your opinion. Because it's like people will be in the face of indisputable fact that's verifiable that can be backed up multiple sources,
right,
and think their opinion holds water. Ooh, tsunami. I think that their opinion, is just as valid. It's like, if you don't get the fuck out of here,
right,
like, not not at all. It is no way, valid here. Like, get the fuck out of here. But this, like, and I'm really not trying to be that dude who's like, the PC mafia, probably everybody's trying to be politically correct. But part of that political correctness is like not being able to tell people that what they said is stupid. If I say something stupid, tell me what the fuck I said was stupid.
I mean, I feel like you can say people are wrong in a tactful manner, though.
No. Here's the problem: they don't listen to tact anymore. You can tell people, you keep trying to tell people, no, I think here are the facts and whatever, blah blah, and it's like at some point you gotta be like, no, what you're saying is wrong, and we're not continuing. No, you cannot come on this TV show and present your opinion. You are not educated in this manner. You are not. I'm not going to put you on television.
Have people who are not,
dude. They will take someone who is not has no medical training or scientific background and put them on a panel against like lifelong scientists who have gone to school and are experts in their field and give them the same amount of airtime.
They just did that recently. I forgot who was it though. They had somebody on the show, and he did not have a background or anything. He was just
he was just loud and wrong.
Like, who is this guy?
Yeah, that happens a lot. It's like, stop taking. If I'm a person like, wait, that's like me and you going to a meeting, talking about rebuilding a GE engine or building a GE engine, and they say, "Hey, Alexis, you first. What should we do here?" I'm like, "Yeah, we should do X, Y, and Z." And you just sitting there like, "Dude, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Where did you come from?"
The thing is, though, if Alexa gives you if she gives you all the instructions you need, though, that's the thing.
They're like, so Lex, what do you think about this? Wade, you should stand up and say, "Why is he in this room?" That should be your first thing. Who brought him here? Why are you here? How did you get in here? Where are your credentials? But then
I had a friend who used to do that though for all his jobs. He used to, he would lie on every single resume and would get them, and then when he got the job, would fucking panic about how the fuck he was gonna do the job, and then would be like, "I don't know what this is. I just lied on the resume." And oh my god.
And then he could sell himself, man. He could sell himself.
Yes, he could. That man.
Is that charisma,
man?
Yes,
he could.
Yeah, he can sell himself.
But even with that, it's like
he works for Apple Care now. This motherfucker doesn't know shit about cell phones. Doesn't know a fucking thing. But he gets to work from fucking home and just answer the phone on his Apple computer. I'm just like, you ass. The worst person ever.
Oh, I know somebody who used to do Apple Care from home too.
Yeah. But it's crazy. It's just crazy to me where it's like, this is why I don't like cable news, especially, I don't care if it's Fox News, CNN, or whatever. You'll have like just these panels of people, and like example where this is my problem with Killer Mike. As much as I like his music, him and T.I.
Manslaughter Mike
had some Manslaughter Michael. No, what was that? Attempted Manslaughter Michael.
Manslaughter Mike.
Attempted assault Mike. He ain't killing nobody. But yeah, the thing is, he had some panel and brought Candace Owens on. Well, it's like, dude, Candace Owens is very anti-black and anti-fact. Why are you even bring her on here? And and I don't agree with everything Mike says and stuff, but there's going to be some things politically we don't agree with. But it's like, dude, it's supposed to be a black empowerment panel. Why are you bringing on a racism denier? A fraud at that, because Candace Owens, she denies racism exists in America, even though she benefited. She benefited from. She benefited from. Well, the thing is, she benefited from a racism discrimination lawsuit and won. The NCAA of her local area, I think it was DC or whatever, helped her win, but now she acts like it don't exist. Like, come on, man! Like, how do you even get that far? Like, no one. Anytime anyone brings Candace Owens to discuss anything. About anything, if the panel isn't how to be a scammer in America, no one needs to be talking to her. Like, she is a grifter. You know, like, she has no background on most of this stuff. She just says, she's like, you know, Diamond and Silk and a lot of these other people, they get paid to say, you know, pejorative things about black people, you know, because there's always money in that, you know.
Yep. And Fox News is always going to put you up there as a guest.
Always on.
Yeah.
The black community,
right,
you know,
they always look for the black person to speak against the black community, you know, Fox News. I'm
all
like,
the time.
really? All the time.
Because,
it's like, see, I told you. Yeah, like it's valid.
Here's
like,
the thing,
see, a black person saying it. It must be true.
Exactly. Dude, that's why Kanye is given space. Because remember, white people hated Kanye. Yes. Yeah. They hated him when he said that George Bush don't care about white people. Don't care about, and they hated him when he got up and when he interrupted Taylor Swift. He was person non grata. But now, he's persona non grata. But now, he's their darling because he likes Trump and says stuff they like. Like, come on, man, get the fuck out of here.
Wait, you gotta send me an invite.
Okay. And they were like, all of these Republican agents are fighting hard to get them on ballots in the states that are swing states. Yeah, battleground states and stuff.
And he admitted that he's attempted siphoning votes from Joe Biden. Like I try not to defer to assault a lot of times, but if I saw Kanye in real life, I would.
I saw actually a video of I think he was at TMZ and he was talking, and this black guy stood up and he was like, "Yo, this is the reason why."
Oh, Van Lathan. Van Lathan was not there.
Yeah, that happened a while ago. Yeah.
No.
I didn't know how recent that video was, but yeah, that's.
Oh no, yeah, that's an old video, but that was like 2 years ago. Video. Yeah, but now he had. I think he went on Van Lathan's podcast or something like that too. Like a month or so after that, because Van challenged him and stuff like that. But the problem is that I honestly do believe that Kanye is dealing with mental health issues. You know, I'm not a mental health expert, but I honestly do believe that, and he has admitted to suffering from bipolarism. You know, but the thing is that he's surrounded by too many enablers. There's so many enablers around him, and there's no one checking him. And even if there's anybody, the people who were checking him, like, what's your boy, the dude who used to write for him,
Ron Fest and
Ron Fest, yeah. So
CL,
he's alienated, Ron Fest because that was his boy, but they're kind of like, Ron Fest don't fuck with him, whatever, even though he was trying to do the whole Donda charity thing. So he's alienated people who probably would have him grounded. I honestly do believe that his mother dying had an adverse effect on him.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think if anything, that was when it happened. Like, that's when the break happened.
Between that and his relationship with Amber Rose, because that went south. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing with him is like there are too many enablers around him. I honestly do think, and I don't hate the Kardashians like a lot of people seem to, but I honestly do believe that him getting tied up with them with that reality TV machine was a mistake. That's not the sort of people. He needs a more or less private environment where his stuff isn't televised and he has help where there's no benefit from like
him saying outlandish shit or whatever.
There's publicity
trying to get clickbait.
Exactly. Like. Well, I don't think they ruined. They're just enabling him. They're making it worse. Like he's like on the edge or whatever. And don't get me wrong, I really do believe that Kim loves him and cares for him. But like that family, it's an empire. It's an entertainment empire before it's a family. As far as we're concerned, publicly. Kris Jenner is a G when it comes to the hustle. I can't even knock her hustle. She made. She took. The money
she took care of her kids. What she did,
she took the money that her husband made being a lawyer, and that left him when he died. Took Kim's 10 times that shit. Took Kim's sex tape, commercialized that and made millions more. Like she's probably made more doing this stuff than Robert would have made if he was still alive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I can't hate on her work ethic. Her method has probably got a problem because it is exploitation in a way. Even though the family is agreeing to it, but
like our whole I can't knock that hustle. We agree for our whole life to be pretty much on TV. This is it. Like, we're just public figures forever.
Yeah, which thank
We're
God,
gonna show you
I think the
everything.
kids are kind of like pulled away from that, you know. But I'm getting fucked up.
No, me too. I didn't see that dude on the stuff.
Fuck. But yeah, like I'm dead. I forgot about the dude coming on the scene. I honestly do believe that
I am down, but not down.
what you call it. It was the worst thing for Kanye to be in that place. You know, because it's kind of an enablement for him. They're enabling his behavior, and you know, I'm pretty sure Kim is trying to get him help in that way, but it's like, you know, he's going through stuff. He goes through stuff publicly, which a lot of stuff he says and does is none of our business. Like, he should not be on Twitter half the time.
Right.
Wait, if you can get to me, you can get to me in a secure location because I'm hidden right now.
Yeah.
I'm behind this fucking barricade.
Let me see.
Yeah, the problem,
Nice. All right, where's
you know, the problem is that he has a massive platform and is taken seriously in a way that, you know, can be pretty dangerous. Like, he may or may not realize it, but he's being taken advantage of by politicians, by Republican politicians, because like you said,
absolutely, he's been taking advantage. Yeah,
they are looking at.
Absolutely. They're only trying to help Trump.
Yeah, they're trying to help Trump, and they're trying to, you know, spoil Biden. And watch my back.
They're using Kanye to do it.
They are absolutely using Kanye.
Yeah, they're just absolutely using him. Yeah, that's it.
He's a puppet.
Yeah,
and he doesn't.
He
in
doesn't
fact,
even realize it.
No, he realizes he doesn't care.
Yeah,
because he said he knew he was siphoning votes from Biden.
Right. You know, because the thing is, honestly, I can't necessarily believe that he's either full anti-Biden or actual Republican, which he could be Republican because a lot of wealthy people are wealthy, black people wealthy, people of color are Republican. But honestly, I feel like he reminds me of Trump in a way that I feel like he's more or less just about his own interests and whatever party aligns with that or gives him a place to talk. Because I honestly believe, like, if the Democrat Party would have taken Trump on as a candidate, he would have won. You know, if Hillary wasn't winning and they were like, let's give Trump a chance, and he would have ran Democrat. You know what I'm saying? The Republican Party was just easier to win.
Democrat for years.
Yeah. He's a Trumpcrat. That's what I believe. Whatever makes him more money, he's just a Trumpcrat.
Yeah.
Because that's why, like, anybody who's like, oh yeah, you know, that's probably why it makes me so mad. And I'm a non-believer. I'm a heathen. But that's why it makes me so mad when they're talking about, you know, oh, Trump is the most Christian president you ever had. Well, Trump, there's no way that man's a Christian. He believes in himself, and that's it.
He's never. What he said? One Chronicle, 2 Chronicles.
Yeah, 1 Chronicle, 2 Chronicles. Yeah. No, 1 Corinthians.
He couldn't even fake it. Couldn't even fake it, yo. It says in 2 Chronicles.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Like, I get, like, yeah, that's
and some of his biggest riders are the evangelists, a community, yo. Dude, they be the evangelicals
honestly,
behind this dude.
Evangelicals will get behind whoever's in power, one, to keep the tax-free status because they know they don't have to pay taxes, you know, and to influence policy. How can it? What's the easiest group for them to influence policy? The Republicans, because they see themselves as the moral center for the American people, in a way that they're, you know, basically saying, you know, we know what's good for y'all and we're a Christian nation, blah blah blah. So they spit all the rhetoric that a lot of these evangelists need, so they can influence policy and stuff like that. You know, like that's why, like, I get sick of seeing what's that dude, Daryl Scott. That's that dude's name. He's a black minister who shows up. He was the one, which a lot of people know, he was trying to organize the whole thing of having them go to Tulsa on Juneteenth. He was part of that. That was part of his idea.
Word?
Yeah. And
wait, what?
Yeah, like when Trump was going to have a political rally in Tulsa, Daryl Scott, who's a black minister, which a lot of people don't fuck with him. He he was on the planning committee and it was part of it was his idea. You know. And it's just like, It's like that's why like again, whatever people want to believe as far as religion, that's fine. I'm a non-believer because I'm completely disenfranchised with religion because of people like that who are in it for themselves, in it for money. Like,
Yeah,
if you
people
follow,
use religion.
if you follow the tenets of Christianity, um, there should not be anybody. You should not have these like rich pastors, or mega churches, who with that have poor people. Like if I have a mega church and I'm a pastor and I'm driving a Bentley, I should not have any poor or suffering parishioners in my church. None of my members should want for anything. Everybody should be taken care of. But you don't see that, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the biggest things. You don't see anything like that, and you just get these guys who are getting out for themselves. Your Billy Grahams and Kenneth Copeland's crazy ass and Pat Robertson and Daryl Scott's and like y'all can love T.D. Jakes if you want, but T.D. Jakes is in there too, and Creflo Dollar of all people. Like it's in the name. It's like Arizona Tea is on the cane.
Yeah.
It's in the name. Creflo Dollar. Come on, I can't listen to no pastor named Dollar. Come on, man.
I mean,
who was trying to tell the members of the church that he needs another plane because his other plane needs some maintenance, but he don't want to do it. He wants a backup plane. Like, get out of here. But the thing is, they get up and stand next to Trump and pray for Trump and put hands on Trump and stuff like that because they want to be in his ear and in his pocket. And Trump is not the most intelligent man, and he lets him do it. Like that's how
I don't think so.
That's how you get all these people who are, honestly, if I was a politician, like with no prior affiliation, I would definitely try to be on Trump's side because you would get. If I had no integrity, I'll link to that. If I had no integrity, if I was just trying to accomplish my own individual goals, I would definitely be.
If you were a con man, absolutely.
I would try to be in Trump's ear to get what I need. Like that's what they're all doing, and the ones who aren't doing that eventually quit because they're like, I can't do this. Like I said, the dude who's running the weather facility, who's in charge of NOAA and all that stuff now, he's the dude who runs AccuWeather, and he wants to try to privatize weather data because so basically that people have to pay for it to get access to weather data. That is a complete conflict of interest.
Why should you?
And he's in charge of that stuff now, and he's trying to privatize it. There's a clear line from one side to the other. I can't see. There's a clear line from one side to the other. Where the money goes. You can see the money of where that's going, but people ignore it. Like we said earlier, they don't care. Betsy DeVos is about what's the name? Betsy DeVos is all about privatized education and stuff like that. She's never run any public school or anything, but because she was nice to Trump, because she was nice to Trump and she supported his, gave her a position. Hell, imagine if Obama had got his son-in-law in the positions of power that Jared Kushner's in. Boy, racists and Republicans would have had a field day. Yeah, I saw him. He said I'm on the raid. Yeah, we're not gonna do that right now. But the thing is, like, imagine if Obama had did that. Dude, they were having cows because he had a tan suit on when he addressed the U.S. people.
Yeah.
Imagine if Michelle Obama's brother was put in a position
and
of
Michelle
power.
had on a sleeveless dress.
Right. Yeah. They lost their minds. They ain't say nothing when Mitch McConnell was out here looking raggedy with a tan suit on the other day, though. But imagine if like Michelle Obama or Obama, his brother or cousin or whomever, was positioned in a huge position of power like Jared Kushner is. You would never hear the end of it. They'd be calling for investigations and corruption and blah blah blah. But Jared Kushner, who has no experience in half the stuff he had to put his hands on. Same thing with Trump's kids, have no idea what the fuck they're doing, or just out here running free. Like, dude, like people have what's her name? Ivanka Trump has shown up to things like in certain panels and stuff, and people have actually looked at her like, why are you here? This has nothing to do with you. This is not your expertise. Why are you here among these people? But it's true. It's like, nigga, why are you here?
Yes. Why are you
This
here?
is your dad's the president. Why are you here? this is not your bag. You should not be at this. Like I think it was I can't remember if it was the Paris Accords or had something to do with like a climate convention or something like that. But she was like, I guess there and trying to talk to people and stuff like that, and they were just kind of like looking at her like, what? Who? Why are you even in attendance here? This is not where you need to be. I think she was there in lieu of her father, and it's just like, what the hell?
You are not like you aren't even a substitute to the man that shouldn't be here.
Right, right.
Like what?
Like
It went from worse to something else.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is like a bad. This is like a bad
Bad
movie.
to worse. What's after worse? Ivanka Trump.
No, it's a bad. This is like a bad movie because it's like it's like a badly written movie. It's so transparent. You can just see the problems that are there when you're just like, how are they even getting away with this stuff? This is like a cartoon. It's like a children's cartoon, and they're just going along with it. They're just eating this shit up.
Eating it up.
Eating it up.
It just boggles the mind.
I mean, it's all distraction, though. That's as far as I'm concerned. It's all distraction just to keep us from paying attention to the shit that we should actually be paying attention to.
A lot of the time.
No, I can say it's a distraction because we're paying attention to all of it, but we can't do anything because these are the people in positions of power. We're just like, there's nothing we didn't, even though we didn't vote for this man. What can we do about this? Like, there's nothing we can do here right now until vote him out. And again, I know we're not all a monolith, but I am very like I can't. All the black folks who are just talking about, I don't like Biden, so I'm not going to vote. I'm like, look, man, y'all got to get over that shit. Like, stop looking for a perfect candidate. And I do not want. I get sick of people saying, well, just because you're black don't mean you got to vote Democrat. I fucking know that. You don't have to vote Democrat. I'm voting for the person who's not going to start World War III and at least give us a chance.
For some reason, they had a Republican that made sense. I would have to vote for that person that makes sense. And I'm not saying I'm not saying that I would agree with all the tenets of the Republican Party, but you have a Republican president that's saying like, hey, let's do this and let's do that, and these are things that are actually a positive to me, or they're positive. Like, I mean, worst case scenario, best case scenario, I become a fucking millionaire for some fucking reason, and I hit that tax bracket to where the Republican Party makes sense to me. To where I need to make sure I get these tax cuts. I need to make sure that I can shelter this money. I mean, I would hate to say it, but it would be in the best interest of me to do those things.
Yeah.
Would I hate myself morally? Probably. But on a financial level, I'm taking care of me. So it's almost like, where do you draw the line? I'm not saying that you should sell your soul, but some people are willing to sell their soul because that money is what makes them do it.
People, though. Whatever elevates people as a whole, like,
are you voting for like I'm
been treated as far as been treated decent, laws and stuff have been put into place just to help out the fellow people, man. Like, I'm just for the people, bro.
Yeah, absolutely for the people. And if they had a Republican candidate that was for the people in a way that what you're saying made absolute sense, yes, I would have to.
Yeah,
but that's not gonna happen. But in a scenario.
Yeah, because the thing is, I would love to see, honestly, an independent who. This is why I don't vote third party right now, because most of these parties,
they're gonna lose. Yeah.
Well, yeah. The problem is most of them wait until the presidential election to do anything. You rarely see them. Every once in a while, I'll see. I can't. I won't hit on the libertarians because I will see them occasionally. I'll see them occasionally, on city and state ballots and stuff like that, right? But a lot of times, I can't remember dude's name, but was it David Johnson or something? I think his name was. And your girl who was running with the Green Party or their party, what's her name? Either way, she was like a scammer or something like that because she like tried to get a recount and stole people's money, like stole their donations, whatever. But the thing is, you don't see or hear from like a lot of the bigger Green Party or Libertarian party candidates until it's time for the presidential election. You know, I should like someone like David Johnson or someone like that. I should hear from you. And you should be campaigning in like every state for whoever the candidates are from your party. You should be campaigning for them all the time. And I never hear anything from these people. You know, a lot of times you'll just, you know, again, they'll show up for the presidential election and that's it. You don't hear nothing else. And it's like, you don't have any real backing because it's just like Bernie, you get in there, you alienate the Democratic Party, no one's going to support you. They're not going to be like, oh, you got a good idea, we're going to get on board. It's like, nah, you've been talking shit about this whole party, telling me you're going to bring us to task too along the Republicans. Why are we going to behind you? Not to mention that Bernie Sanders probably has like the most like, was it? He has like the most no votes in like in the Senate or something like that. Like he has like he just doesn't show up for so many of the actual votes and stuff.
Yeah.
So why am I going to vote for somebody like that? Because it is feels like throwing away your vote because you don't have the infrastructure. I absolutely believe that one of the biggest problems with the American political system is the two-party system. We should not have a two-party system, but when these third parties don't do the work to show up locally or on the state level before trying to run for president, like, come on, man. You need to be, you know, you should be a mayor, a senator, a congressman, a governor, somebody. Your party should have, like, some presence in Congress and all types of things before you just show up out of the blue to run for president. Jill Stein, that was her name, old scammer. Jill Stein. She stole them niggas' money. But you just don't show up, and Jill Stein. You just don't show up and be like, I'm gonna run for president now. It's like, who are you? What work have y'all done? You know, unfortunately, it's hard to make the argument now because shit, we got Trump. You know, but then it goes to celebrities. But you know, I don't want to like
lower the bar there.
Boy. Like, but yeah, I would absolutely love for a third party or a fourth party or like, you know, a multiple party system, but people keep trying to rush to the top instead of putting the work at the bottom. And the thing is too, we make the biggest effect on our day-to-day lives is in your state and city and local elections. You know, the person who's over, you know, the lawmakers locally are gonna do like the laws Trump make about federal police won't affect me the same way about the law that the governor makes about the state police. You know, Roy Cooper has a bigger effect on what's going on in the state I live in than Trump does right now. You know, but these people, they just try to shoot straight for the presidency and won't actually do nothing. Like, come on, man. It don't work that way. So, you know, we got to worry about, you know, getting all this voter suppression shit out of here, too, because that's just blatant. I don't understand how people aren't mad about that, too.
Yeah, people should be more,
Voter suppression.
Gerrymandering and shit? Oh, dude, I don't understand about gerrymandering.
Whole state, in certain states, like, I can't remember if it was Alabama or who it was, but they went and they try to get voter ID laws, right? Which, on its face, a voter ID law doesn't sound bad. Just on paper. By itself, in a vacuum, doesn't sound bad. Oh, yeah, everyone has an ID, and so there's nothing wrong with that. The thing is, you need a valid city or state ID, you know, before you get your voter ID card. Okay, that makes sense. Where can I go get my ID? Oh, sorry, we closed all the state DMVs within 30 miles of you. Oh, and you don't have a car, and there's already public transportation, so you can't go there to get one anyway. Well, shit, how am I going to go get this identification I need? Valid ID. I can't renew my state ID now because I can't get to the DMV. So how am I going to be able to vote? Well, sorry, you got to figure that out. That's actually why the court struck down those voter ID laws, because they saw that these DMV and stuff are being shut down in these communities, primarily black communities. And then let's take away the voter law thing. Let's just say, all right, you're able to vote, you're registered to vote, stuff like that. Cool. The election's coming up. You guys want to vote? Well, I would love to go vote, but you close thousands of polling places, and we have one polling place for every like 100,000 people or something crazy like that. I think that was Alabama most recently, where they were looking at, they forced closed
Atlanta too, or in Georgia.
I think no, Kentucky. It was Kentucky, but they had closed so many polling places that people had to wait hours to vote. You know how long it took me to go vote in our primaries? It took the wife and I 20 minutes, if that, and part of that was driving time. We went to local polling place, barely stood in line. You know, we got checked in. You know, they went through and made sure we are who we say we are. Checked all these cards ourselves, give us our ballot, filled them all out, voted, boom, gave us our sticker. We were out. These people in Kentucky had to wait hours upon hours upon hours just to be able to get up and let vote. That's not voter suppression.
That's going to deter. Yeah, exactly. That's going to deter
Yeah.
a bunch of people from voting.
Voting
that's why
should be
Michael
the
didn't vote.
easiest thing. It should be the easiest thing you do. But it's
Yeah, it should be
vote.
highly accessible to everyone,
Mm-hmm.
and it should be super easy to do.
It should be. But they are actively suppressing it. And people are just ignoring it and don't see a problem with it because it's their party doing it. Because they probably found with black people not being able to vote. Because it's disproportionately affecting black communities. Some poor communities, but black communities. Mostly black communities because the ones who are in charge and power doing this is affecting those communities and know that these people would have voted against them. Just like, was it, here in North Carolina, the courts looked at this map that the Republicans came up with and was like, yo, this is completely unconstitutional. You can't do this.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, the Republicans aren't the ones who aren't the only ones who gerrymander. Democrats have done it too. That's just wrong, period. But that should straight up like y'all are playing with the system, and we're supposed to be a democracy, but y'all are fucking with the way to us to be able to exercise the power to vote. That's why you get so many people disenfranchised where they're like, my vote don't count. You know, yep. I tell people, your vote counts because if it didn't, why are they trying so hard to take it from
you? Yeah.
Why are they working so hard to prevent you from being able to vote? You know, but
that's a very good point.
Exactly. Right. And don't get me wrong, I can get how someone can look at the federal election and say my vote don't count because they saw what happened with both Bush the first time and Trump when it comes to electoral college, basically going against the people.
Colleges, yeah.
But if at the same time, if your vote, if we have greater than 50% or 60% voter turnout, then the electoral college couldn't have really gone against because all the votes in those districts would have went to whoever won. So right until the electoral system is changed, which some lawmakers are trying to change it, the population, the eligible voters, got to get out there and vote. But even if you don't vote on a federal election, the electoral college has no effect on your state and local elections. In your state and your local municipality, one vote, one man, one vote. Your vote absolutely matters when you're voting for your senator, when you're voting for your governor, when you vote for your alderman, your city council, your mayor, all these people. Your vote absolutely matters. You need to exercise your vote
all the time
because these people have a greater effect on your day-to-day life than the president does. But people have been conditioned not to vote, and it's a targeted thing because how much voting stuff, like I think what was it? What it used to be called when we were in school? ELSA, civics class.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That shit was a elective, and you only had to take it 1 year.
Yeah.
It was like a one-time elective. Like
what class?
ELSA.
ELSA. It was like
economics, legislature,
yeah, economics,
there's something
legal, political systems, like
yeah, systems like economic, legal, political systems in action. ELSA, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a civics class. I think they just started calling it civics, but that was like a one semester thing, and everything else was just history. And hell, social studies was an elective after. I think we only need like 3 social studies credits in general to graduate from high school anyway. But I feel like we should do everything from mock governments, really enforcing, understanding what voting is and stuff, so people will take it more seriously because it's our right that we need to be exercising. We absolutely need to be exercising. But people are actively. I just feel like it's targeted. Everything from lower education, everything to convince people they don't need to vote, so they don't. You just tell people, your vote don't matter. Or do things to make them feel like their vote don't matter. They can't vote against you. And a lot of people don't truly have no understanding how it works in the first place. So it's easy to tell them that your vote don't matter. So you don't need to worry about voting. This shit's sad, man. And if someone fully understands it and really doesn't want to vote, or there are some people who have religious reasons for not to vote. You know, I used to be part of that when I was still, my mother's Jehovah's Witness, and Jehovah's Witnesses don't vote. That's part of religion. I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. But if you don't have any other, so what? It's so the one of the passages is I can't quote this exact scripture where it is, but there's a passage about it says to man his way does not belong even to direct his own step. So Jehovah's Witnesses believe that they should not influence earthly government. They should abide by the government's laws. You know, pay Caesar's thing to Caesar's, pay their taxes, and follow the law. But not to they believe that man shouldn't lead man, so they don't choose who. It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's real. It's very similar to. It's a very strange thing of looking at, like, you know how people say let go and let God. It's kind of like that, where it's like we'll follow the rules and stuff that's been applied, but don't actually influence the laws that are being made, stuff like that. And I adhered to that before. Again, like I said, I was always when this is exactly. But once I was an adult and I looked, I was like, no, that's just I can't be inactive. You know what I'm saying? I can't hold on to that. But don't try to influence the rules. Yeah.
Yeah, change them, or even for the better.
Yeah, don't have any effect on earthly government. I'm like, I get what y'all saying, but nah. I just right. Yeah.
Because it really absolves them from having any sort of responsibility or having to take any sort of action, so that they can just
the one side of
to not.
I would say the one
because
positive.
It gives comfort to some people.
I would say the one positive side effect is that they don't show up to try to influence. They don't lobby the government to try to influence uh, elections and stuff like that, or policy making. Which a lot of churches and organizations do. Like they don't try to affect the government, which is fine, but they also don't, do their individual thing of taking, part in running their country, which
I just got kicked.
I don't agree with. You know what I mean? So it's part of it's like that's a silver lining I see, because I feel like no, there should be no church presence on Capitol Hill at all. Should absolutely be a separation of church and state, which a lot of people don't agree with. But at the same time, individuals you should be somewhat active in. You should definitely be active. When it comes to uh, local or city, like your government, because pay your taxes and stuff, but why should you, if you're going to pay your taxes, then why aren't you going to have a say on what your tax money goes to, or or elect people who have an effect of how your government's going to be led? Just simple stuff. Where you got kicked. Just just simple things. Even stuff like if you're going to vote, should the teachers in your community get paid more? What's wrong with voting yes on that, or no if you don't believe it? But what's wrong with voting on that? Or something like that. You should put a policy that affects you and your children. Like, so I couldn't hang with that any longer. I was like, this doesn't. I can't be enacted. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's when at least for me, because I do identify myself as being a Christian. I understand how people become disparaged by the actions of other people that say that they follow the same religion as they do. But for me, it's always been taught to me that I cannot allow what people do allow me to affect my relationship or my personal relationship with God, or for some people, whoever that may be.
Yeah.
But because that, I mean, that's just, you can't. People are failing. We're imperfect beings, and that's just when you
Yeah.
you would want people to practice what they preach, and it's a struggle for every single person
Right.
upon what they how they interact, but that's their own personal struggle. And
Yeah.
when it comes to having a, I want to say, quote unquote, public persona of it, you do the best you can. You do the perfect, and that's what that is. So I'm
Yeah.
not. I mean, I try to do the best that I can every day, or at least something to say to myself, like, hey, you say you call yourself this, try and follow the tenets, act decent. For instance, me trying not to curse this little boy out, but you do the best you can, and you understand that you don't try and drag other people into your mess also in the name of Christianity or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Don't do that, because that also taints it, and your mess should not be what dictates how this flows. I mean, so I don't know. For me, I've always been against mega churches. I just don't. I've never really felt
Quit dying, Ed.
like,
I'm listening.
yeah, I'm right here, Ed. I'm right here. I've just never felt like how I felt ever being at my home church, and I'm not to say that going to another church, I've never felt, a pleasing spirit there. It's just that I feel it less when I am at large churches than I do at a smaller church.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, my dad's church in Delaware, it is a larger church, but I don't feel any less at comfort being there. But it is definitely a larger church than my church, my own home church.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a level of discomfort because it's just one, there's so many ways for this to go wrong,
Yeah.
because the more people you have in that situation, the easier it is for someone to try and get you involved in, once again, their mess in the name of religion. And here you are, just have a bad taste in your mouth because of what this person did.
Yeah. Which
So
it's
it's
difficult to try to balance it sometimes because you know you want to be a live and let live type, but at the same time, one of the tenets of Christianity is for um, you to evangelize and to attempt to save other people.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely. And I've never once looked at a person who's ever come to me to say, "Hey, I would like to know something more about or whatever," or I'm having a trouble with this, or what? Why do you seem to not have a problem with this versus I do have a problem? And if the answer is because of my religious background, I will definitely tell them. And I look at that in a sense of trying to save, because I'm using my religious experience to try and at least save them from the situation that they're in.
mhm.
And if by me saying like, well, man, I don't tell a lot of people in it, but I just say a prayer and go inside there and do what I got to do. And he's like, yeah, you pray about it? Like, yeah, man, you got to. And if it bleeds into a conversation about how religion springs forth, then yeah. But I'm not going to go I'm not going to be the person on the corner trying to scream out whatever about what I or whatever whatnot. But I'm not ever gonna, I'm not gonna be like Peter. I hope I'm never like Peter and deny Christ. But it it's how you personally do for yourself. And I'm not gonna say I'm not going to listen to any one person to tell me how I interact with Christ. Like that's not for anyone. You can have a spiritual leader, someone who you decide to follow and listen to help you on your journey, but it's not the moment that that person says something that goes against how you feel inside, then that's what you make your decisions. That doesn't mean you absolutely stop listening to every single thing that person says, because people once again are fallible, but
Yeah.
you you come to a you, you become you hold yourself accordingly, I guess I should say.
Right.
You know, you govern yourself as one of the leaders of my church say, govern yourself accordingly.
Wise words,
So
Mark. Wise words.
I don't know. I make tacos.
Sorry, I lost connection for some reason. So
Oh, so
I'm
now I
back.
don't believe you at all.
I'm back. So world,
Now I'm
never fear.
truly hurt.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna need an invite. So
For
where
your
we at in
own
this
shit.
conversation? Yeah.
Hey, let's not talk about that.
I was saying it was at the 4 o'clock. You were just like,
Oh, it's tonight.
Um,
It's tonight, not D&D night, Mark.
no, that's on Wednesdays, and they are wonderful guys, and that's what we're gonna do for that. So that's it. Yeah, I love them so much.
What's the next topic here today? What we digging into now?
well,
What's going on?
we've kind of touched on a little bit because Ed had shared an article earlier, basically about the U.S. essentially being in ruins, which it kind of sort of is. You know, it's kind of a
Yeah.
it's kind
Oh,
of
it was.
goes back, but it was a Rolling Stone article called "The Unraveling of America." Anthropologist Wade Davis on how COVID-19 signals the end of an American era, and basically, I'll give Ed some room, but the article's pretty much talking about how the COVID-19 pandemic has brought up to the surface all the problems with America in general, as far as the state of everything from our economic system to healthcare to relations, all kinds of stuff. Basically how it's kind of somewhere saying how the idea of American exceptionalism is BS. It's kind of
Yeah.
pointed out.
Because we failed to do so many things that could have protected us in this pandemic, and this pandemic pretty much showed
We
the
ain't shit.
The weaknesses
fallacy of
of the country. Yeah.
the U.S. of A.
Long story short, we ain't shit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we did not have enough ventilators. Masks weren't being made. We didn't have enough PPE. Our president, I feel like, did not act efficiently as he could have,
Of course
saying it was a hoax. He was saying it was a hoax the whole time. As soon as this pandemic hit, oh, it's a hoax. Don't worry about it. It's going to fix itself. Go outside. The sun kills the UV light. Inject
Drink
yourself
some
with,
bleach.
yeah, drink some bleach. Inject yourself with this. Like, it was just, nah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it talks about vaccine
Yeah,
stuff, but here's
dropped the
one of the
ball
things.
so many times.
Like, here's one thing that says, quote from the article: "In a dark season of pestilence, COVID has reduced to tatters the illusion of American exceptionalism. At the height of the crisis, with more than 2,000 dying each day, Americans found themselves members of a failed state, ruled by a dysfunctional and incompetent government, largely responsible for death rates that added a tragic coda to America's claim to supremacy in the world." Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, because America number one, American exceptionalism, I always felt like that was crap because it was like we're trying to show the rest of the world that we're better than them, but can't even keep shit clean in our own house. That's
Yeah.
kind of been the thing. Because
Yeah, just
think
saying
about it,
that don't make it true.
think about we're supposed to be the best country, but we're not number one in education. We're not number one in jobs. Our race relations are horrible. Don't get me wrong, race relations in a lot of countries are trash. But our homelessness is out of control. We talk about military first, but as a country, we don't give a shit about veterans. I don't care what no one that says. they're always talking about think about the veterans and do X for the veterans, but they're quick to roll their window up when they see a homeless veteran on the street and don't want to pay more taxes to help support the VA so that veterans get good care. You know, like it's all a bunch of fluff words and bullshit as far as the image of America. Now this shit's hollow. You know, and it's easy for me to say
Yeah.
that because as a black person, I never fell for the okie doke in the first place. You know, I always thought that was crap because we would like the rest of the world saw how minorities were being treated. Whether it was, and we started this country was started on shitting on minority. They really weren't the minority at the time, but they were just not white. So Native Americans essentially got destroyed by violence and disease. You know, Native Caribbeans got killed by violence and disease. You know, through colonialism and colonization and all that. You know, like I feel like black people in general just see through that shit. We're just like, yeah, well, there's not any other place I'd rather live, but it's not perfect. I'm not gonna act like it. But people get
Yeah, definitely not perfect.
so mad. People get so mad when you say America's not perfect. Boy, they lose their damn mind. But here was another quote. Um, it said, COVID-19 didn't lay America low. It simply revealed what had long been forsaken. As the crisis unfolded, with another American dying every minute of every day, a country that once turned out fighter planes by the hour cannot manage to produce the paper masks or cotton swabs essential for tracking the disease. The nation that defeated smallpox and polio and led the world for generations in medical innovation and discovery was reduced to a laughingstock as a buffoon of a president advocated the use of household disinfectants as treatment for a disease that intellectually he cannot begin to understand.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it's true.
that's the long and short of it, basically.
That's it.
I
That's
mean,
pretty much it.
I feel like we got in this position because again, this goes back to me not to feeling like we don't get a chance to destroy bad ideas and we let that shit flourish. We've had successful anti-intellectuals and anti-science advocates embedded within the government for too long. Like, there's no reason we should be denying. There should be no reason why the president calls a global pandemic a hoax. There's no reason
Right.
why they should be denying climate change. You know, like it's almost like I don't. I feel like too many laypersons want to say they. It's like this weird, you know, Salem witch trial things where they want to burn scientists at the stake. They want to prove that science is wrong and all you need is God and crystals or whatever the bullshit they believe in. Instead of saying, you know, they're so quick to point out when science gets something wrong when that's a fundamental misunderstanding of the scientific process. The scientific process is to try stuff over and over again, look at the different results until you get to the right conclusion. It's not instant answers. You know, the whole method is experimentation and research and evaluation. You know,
Yeah.
but people will say, "Oh, well, back in 1976, scientists thought this, but now they're telling us something different." Yeah, 40 years later, they might have got new
Yeah, new
evidence or
technology
something
came
That
out.
changed
Yeah,
happened.
or new
exactly.
technology. Like, oh, you
That's
remember
how we
what?
got here in the first place, asshole.
Think about doing it. The Civil War. You know what? When people got hurt or shot or something like that, when soldiers got hurt, you know that was usually a death sentence. Why? Because they didn't understand everything from infection. The only
Yeah.
solution for infection was cutting shit off. Now, if a
Yep,
person gets
Yeah,
that's
shot,
it.
they can
exactly.
be saved. Oh
So it wouldn't
man,
spread. Right, exactly.
science was wrong back then. No, people continue to learn. It's like they refuse to understand that learning is a lifelong process. We don't know everything. We'll never know everything. It's up to us to set the next generation up to continue to learn from what we've learned. To take what we've learned
Yo,
and
can
say,
I get that
okay,
invite though?
this is.
No.
Wait, who's party leader now? It might be me. I
Yeah,
don't know.
who's in charge? It says session owner is El Chief.
Let me look. Hold on. Oh, it is me. Haha.
Yeah,
Oh.
put me back in charge.
I will not.
Well, damn.
But no, it's just crazy. It's like people with no understanding of science. When a lot of stuff you can just go and just read, understand why there's peer reviews, why there's medical journals, and a lot of stuff is public. You can go to the library, you can go online, you can find all these medical papers and stuff in peer review research. But people are so quick to say it's bullshit and go believe some nigga they've never met on YouTube who found some sort of paper who claims they have some sort of paper about something and believe that wholesale. You know, Like that position that puts us in this position now because people like this are now empowered. You know, they end up in positions of power. So now you have people who are just being anti-science should be that should be something stupid to feel. That should be something. Again, y'all might not agree, but I almost feel like we need the town idiot again. It's like there needs to be ridicule for people who continue to push bullshit. When it's like, no, this stuff is not true. You're going to stop saying it, and we're going to stop listening to you. We can't keep coddling and babying people. It's fine if you believe this. It's not true, but you're entitled to your opinion. No, that's not the case. We can't keep doing that because we get in positions where people think it's fun to believe that the Earth is flat, that climate change isn't real, and that COVID is a hoax. And people are dying because of it now. Like this shit makes me mad because this people who are being so flippant and ridiculous about it are in charge of getting care to other people whose lives depending on it, and they're fucking it up.
Yeah.
It's just disgusting. Like, come on, man. Like, this is not how it needs to be done. It's like, stop. Why people are so worried about, being, it's like this contrarian disease where people are just like, refuse to look at the common sense thing and say, oh, okay, this might actually be, exactly what they say it is. It's like, nope, it's got to be something else. Like, I'll look at it another way. Everybody's saying the same thing, so clearly it's not right. It's like, that shit happens so much. It's like, no, that's not how the world works. We can't keep doing this, man. Like, we're gonna keep ending up with morons at the helm who listen to idiots and nobody and stuff, and who think Jenny McCarthy's right and that vaccines cause autism and stuff like that, and all these kind of things. That's going to end up stifling scientific process and getting people killed. More people have died during COVID that had to die, and we're sitting here looking at other countries who are figuring it out. New Zealand has had single-digit cases. Single digits. They've gone a period of time with no new cases, and they didn't get any more cases until they let a couple people come over from Australia, so they had a couple cases.
And I thought, yeah.
And I think from the UK, so they had a handful of cases. Dude, we're getting hundreds, if not thousands of cases, because people won't stay home. People won't wear a mask. Won't wear a mask. 500,000 deaths. Like, dude.
Yeah, 5 million. Yeah, I think it was 490. Yeah.
It's like, please, why is it so hard to wear a fucking mask? Yeah. But just going back to the article, like, it just makes a good point. Like, this is just exacerbating an existing problem. The COVID pandemic didn't create anything. It just highlighted, it brought it up to the surface. Like, nah, y'all are not set for this. I mean, I always thought it was crazy. Like, I didn't know full time, but now the idea that we have less than 1 million hospital beds available for a country of 300 million people, that would be okay if we had some sort of, standardized healthcare system that was more affordable for stuff, that people can get regular, maintenance care without having to wait till emergencies. But the fact that we have this mostly privatized healthcare system, and we have less than 1 million beds, like, what the hell do they think an epidemic or a pandemic was going to do? Less than 1 million beds. That means if the city of Charlotte, if everyone in the city of Charlotte got sick, there aren't enough hospital beds in the country for one city. And Charlotte's not even a massive city. 10% of New York City gets deathly sick and they need to stay in the hospital. The entire country doesn't have somewhere to put them. Like, that shit is wild.
It is.
Or they die.
Right.
Yeah. Dude, the fact that you work in a hospital and told me what some people think that also work in a hospital just blows my mind. Like, they're in a place where they can see it.
Dude, and this is what's crazy. My next door neighbor, She's a nurse, and she works in some unit where they help COVID patients. Um, and I was outside, and she was like, "Hey, can you guys hear me? Okay." Okay. I was outside. She
Yeah.
was like, "Hey," she was like, if I go to Florida to work for like 6 weeks, would you mind watching my house?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Everything okay?" She's like, "Yeah, everything is okay." But she was like, she just got a job offer because some hospital in Florida, they were paying nurses $100 an hour to come help with COVID patients, and it was for like a 6 week stint, 6 weeks period. So like you can do 6 weeks and then you can sign up to do another 6 weeks. But they were paying like $100 an hour and time and a half. So she was like, yeah, I'm thinking. She's like, I'm trying to get one more certification for something else. But she's like, I work on COVID patients here in Durham, and I'm not even getting a third of what they just offer me in Florida. So she was like, why wouldn't I go down there for, a 6 week period? She's like, I'm doing the same flipping job right now, and they're not even, paying me a third of that. And I was like, absolutely. I was like, yeah, I understand. I was like, I watch your house and everything, but I was like, to get paid $100 an hour for what you're already doing, because
Right.
cases I guess aren't getting any better, and she's already taking every precaution. Her hospital's taking every precaution. She's like, I'm doing the same thing, putting my life on the line, but I'm not even getting a third of what they're offering in Florida. $100 an hour, that's crazy. She's like, and you can get time and a half and overtime and everything. I'm like,
But
jeez,
shit, that's also
I can't imagine.
that's like a ground zero for people who won't keep
That
their
is a
asses in the
ground
house.
zero. Florida
That-
is number two. It's like California, Florida, Texas, and then New York, I think.
yeah, and the funny thing is, like, California
So,
is just because of the number of people, but which is
yeah.
kind of surprising. But yeah, no, that's terrifying, man. Like,
I'm
But I
pretty
mean,
sure
if
South
she's doing,
Carolina's like number 5. I don't know why, but South Carolina's up there.
but if she's doing that job now, yeah, there's more cases, but at least she's going to be getting paid, very well, I guess, to do what she's already doing.
yeah, because they can't take it. Private, a ton of private. Yeah,
Right. And right,
right.
and they're not even getting any extra money in from cosmetic procedures or any medical procedures that's not deemed an emergency right now. They cut all of that out, so they're not even pulling in money from that anymore.
Yeah, all elective procedures.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
More people get sick. My mom's been a nurse all her life, but they're the worst place to be. And more people get sick in the hospital than they do being at home. But you would think, like when I was a kid, I was probably like, man, you can probably eat off these floors and stuff. Like I know they clean the hospital, all the walls are white and everything. Like this is probably the cleanest place in the world. Nah, it's totally the
Nope.
opposite.
Crazy
You
thing
get
about
sick going to the hospital.
so much in and out. And you are
Yeah.
bringing, like you said, these sick people are coming there. You
hmm
know,
I mean, I just thought, but it makes sense. Like you got AC units, diseases like cough and droplets are just floating in the air. You got these AC units just suck it up, pass them along. I know they're supposed to have like these very nice
HEPA
HEPA
filters.
filters and stuff to help
Yeah.
filter out like all the bacteria and stuff, but it's not a perfect system either.
Right. Right.
Right. The yeah. Huh.
Wow.
So if there's 15
16?
people with beards, so if there's 17 people with beards,
One y'all gonna have
one
to
of those
go.
guys gonna have to fight to the death.
My money's on the
So
head.
we're like, we got 16 and 17 of
I see the
y'all.
logic.
2 of y'all gonna have to fight to the death.
Oh.
Oh my god. Yeah, training. Yeah, it's also it's training as well. Training goes in hand with that stuff as well.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another.
I think
Right.
one of
Yo,
those
you
schools
know
got
that dude.
not like one of like this one school that had a bunch of students being shown like grouped together. I want to say they got 9 positive COVID cases already.
Yeah, the guy who took
So
that picture in that school hallway, they suspended him, and
girl,
then they reversed it and they brought him back
yeah, it was a
because
girl.
they were upset that he took the picture.
Right.
All he was doing is showing the conditions of normal time in the hallway at a school, and they got upset about it.
If that doesn't sound like being mad to cover something up. Right.
Yeah.
And he's dead now. Yeah. Yep. It's like a lot of these groups, like unfortunately, including our own government, they're worried about saving face instead of saving people. You know, like we had the whole thing back in January with Trump, like wanting to sit on information because it was going to hurt his chances for re-election. Like, come on, man! Like, this is just not that. It's not important. Yep. Right. It's basically like, oh, you ain't got nowhere to talk either, pretty much. Like
Crazy.
that's just because
Show how it's
we
done.
handled it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are the
Worse.
worst. The worst.
Because they're like, hey man, y'all know what to do with smallpox and the plague and polio and all that stuff. What should we do now? It's like stick our thumb in our asses and act like it don't exist. And they're like, wait a minute, you can't do that. Like, I don't, I don't think that's right.
Yo.
Never. From a scammer ass dad.
Man, don't do that, Ed. His dad left him a very small amount of $1 million. I don't know why you try to play that man like that. You know he pulled himself up
Minuscule,
on his
really.
own from his own bootstraps. Ed, do
Pulled
not
himself
do
up.
that.
Yeah. He took that simple million and he made an empire.
Animated Empire.
You
So
know?
don't you do that, Ed.
Don't.
Don't
That's
do
not.
that.
You're taking that away from him.
Elon Musk is gonna be his vice
Well,
president. Oh
Elon
yeah, he
Musk
said he
is
was vote for him.
also
Yeah.
unstable.
That nigga a super villain.
You always say that.
He is. Yeah.
Oh, he said he's a
Elon
Elon
super
Musk,
Musk
that
is a
villain.
nigga's a super villain.
supervillain.
I do want one of them what you call it? Them flamethrowers that he got though.
Yeah. What's it called? The Boring Company flamethrower? Yeah.
The Boring Company is his underground drilling company.
Yeah, yeah. That was the one who made the flamethrower. Yeah, it's like
All right, gentlemen.
you're actually
This is
going to
my
work
cue.
now.
Don't you fucking do it, Mark.
Oh,
All right,
now
well,
you're
I'm gonna
going to
go
work.
now.
Hey, Mark, I
Are
just
we,
want
are
to
we,
say
are
that
we, are
I
we
do miss
stopping it
our
here, or are
time
we gonna
together,
keep
and I
going for a
do
little bit
miss
after
our
Mar leaves?
talks.
I do miss.
Um, yeah, we should
Y'all,
end it because I need to cook something on the grill too.
y'all didn't want to talk about WAP? No, I'm just kidding.
Celebrate.
Oh,
That
no.
video
Nah,
was. I
Oh,
mean,
what you mean? Worship
it's
and praise, wings and
worship and
pizza.
praise, wings and pizza.
yeah. That's it. That's it.
What wop you talking about? There's a
Watermelon,
bunch of different wops.
watermelons and peaches,
Watermelon,
boy. Watermelons and
That's it.
peaches.
Watermelon
watermelon
and
and peaches.
peaches. That was. I'm here for that. That's it. So,
Oh, I love wings and pizza. Yeah, I
Wings
can
and
talk
pizza.
about WAP all
yeah,
day.
yeah,
Listen, it is Sunday. Worship and
absolutely.
praise, baby. Worship and praise.
Worship and
All right.
praise.
Well, Mark's got to go, and I think we've been ranting for long enough. So this has been episode 11 of Gamerside Chat. Mark, go to work. Hopefully they don't yell at you for being late.
Well, you
Um,
know.
we'll try to do this thing again in a couple of weeks. If not, definitely won't be next week, but hopefully the world won't get in the way. So we'll be here in a couple of weeks or whatnot, and
The
look for
world's
us to
been in the
start
way.
promoting stuff more and getting the word out there. Keep making episodes. So appreciate y'all, whoever's listening. We out.
Deuce.